Let me bring him K. Raghunathan to comment on what the FISME Director General had said. K. Raghu, are you there?
Good evening, everybody, and nice to be part of the show. Okay, the first question is, how are the MSMEs feeling? I think let me address that from my own perspective of having done the study with them and survey with them, which might add it up to the remarks of Mr. Bharadwaj. And in my opinion, the MSME can be easily equated to a human body. When I say human body, the brain is obviously the profitability, the heart is the entrepreneur and the owner, the hands are the employees, the legs are the customers because we chase them and we run after them, and obviously the blood of the human body is the finance, and the eyes is the competition, the ears are the technology vision. If you take all this, suddenly COVID has landed us into an accident. The accident is for everybody. All of us are taken aback. All of us didn't know how to react. It took us for a while to recover from all the shock what we had gone through with the lockdown conditions. Now, some in the coach were already dead. Some in the coach were critical. Some in the coach is less critical. Some are unhurted. Now, the government at this moment has only given a first aid at the accident site. That was during the COVID. What is more needed is there are entrepreneurs who are dead or who are not able to continue further. As per the survey, 35% of the entrepreneurs want to close down their operation, but they are still willing to donate their organs. We need to take the help from them and make sure their infrastructure, their knowledge, their capabilities are further continuously in use and given them a honorable exit. And there are people who are critically ill. They need the mask and the ventilators to make them come out of it from the dead. And these are all part of the necessities from the government. The loan scheme what has been announced has not taken off even after 30 days. And hardly about 7 to 8% is a beneficiary as on today, on the 30th day. Banks say they have money, no takers, and the entrepreneurs say they have needs but no givers, and there seems to be a cup and a gap between the cup and the lid.
Yes, as Raghu, that brings us to an improvement. Raghu?
Yeah. Krishna,
yes,
rephrase your question.
That is, there has been steps like the decriminalization of the bouncing.
No, okay. See, as far as
yeah.
Krishna, as far as the decriminalization is concerned, it is now only they have sought the views of the stakeholders. But in my own view, let's take the IBC for that matter, where the threshold was increased from 1 lakh to 1 crore. Yeah. Now, what does it mean? Most of the micro enterprises are supposed to receive only up to 1 crore money from the corporates. They used to use this IVC as a threat to recover their payments. Now, suddenly that 1 lakh has gone up to 1 crore.
1 crore.
No, but there is no option for given to the people below 1 crore. Where will they go? Similarly, if tomorrow the courts feel too many cases are pending, therefore let FIRs not be registered by the police stations, will that be a right justification? It's not a right justification. So decriminalization is not the right option. For example, I'm telling you, the check bouncing.
It might even affect the payment settlement mechanism in the country.
No. We normally, Krishna, when I go and buy the material from an unknown party supplier, we give a post-dated check. And same way, when I deal with a customer who is unknown to me, I will take a post-dated check. This post-dated check is a very accepted norm of doing business day to day by micro and small enterprises, largely. And now there used to be a fear when we sign the check, post-dated check, because it is punishable. Today, if you decriminalize it, nobody will accept the check from me. Now they will say, give me a bank guarantee. give me the money on the table upfront and then take the material. The very trust and faith of day-to-day business will be lost now. These are all my concerns and worries. The decriminalization or policy changes, take for that matter the reclassification of MSME. Now, today, a person who is doing a turnover of 10 lakhs a year is on par with a person doing 250 crore a year turnover as an MSME. How is it possible? How can you have? How can you have?
The range of turnover has been expanded widely. That might be the larger set might corner a large proportion of the total.
No, not only that, Krishna, but accepting now 5,000 companies, rest all have become now MSME. So it is high time then we call non-MSME companies as an entity rather than MSME as an entity.
Raghu, once again, for the benefit of all the audience, we repeat that other than just 5,000 companies, all companies in our country, by virtue of the new classification, have become MSMEs.
Absolutely right. And secondly, a person, let's take an IT company, they don't have an investment in plant and machinery, and they don't have a starting time for doing turnover, and they don't have a blue collar and a migrant laborers for workforce. Whereas an industry, a manufacturing industry, we invest, we ramp up our production capacity 30%, 40%, 100%. We reach after 5 years and 6 years of our whole turnover. And secondly,
Raghu, under the new classification, I think the difference between manufacturing and services has also been just changed. It is no more there.
That is why I am saying
it complicates the issue and tilts the terms of trade against undertaking manufacturing investments, because easy money would actually be made in services.
So that is why we have been saying, anyway, you have decided to reclassify, at least reclassify into manufacturing, service, export, and trading. Trading is another area which can also be included in this. So why not we now itself bifurcate? So that tomorrow, if we want to do any study or if we want to extend any facility or a policy to individuals. I just wanted to tell you, madam, you know, the relationship between an entrepreneur and the buyer is like a husband and wife. We will have fight, we will have give and takes. Only on the day when I decide I am not going to live with him anymore, I will file my divorce papers. Going to the third party and filing a redressal system, whether it is with the government or with anybody for that matter, is my last resort. And 90% of the time, I file it only when I decide not to do further business with them. Otherwise, we manage on a daily basis. We cry, we report, we fall at the feet. He will request. That's the way the life goes on. So that is the reason why, in fact, I told the finance minister when she talked about the dues is only 10,000 crore, 15,000 crore as per the Samadhan portal. I said Samadhan portal is like a court record of how many divorces are filed. Somebody goes and files it in Samadhan only when we decide to break away from the consumer. So that's a part of the life. What is more important, I exactly like what you said. Every company should be mandated to give an aging statement of sundry creditors on their portals. And if I find my name is wrong there, or if my bills are not clear, then I should have a secret mechanism in which I communicate to the government. Yes. That my bill is missing there, not knowing with the knowledge of my buyer. But without the knowledge of my buyer, I should be able to take it over with them. Yes. And they can write to him saying that we have received complaints that we are not paying on time. What are you doing?